The phone rang at exactly 3:17 a.m., slicing through the stillness of my small Portland apartment like a siren. For a fraction of a second, I thought I had overslept, my body jolted, heart hammering. Then I saw the caller ID, St. Vincent Medical Center. My stomach dropped. I answered on the second ring. "Hello? Is this Olivia Bennett?" asked a calm, professional voice. "This is Nurse Alvarez from St. Vincent Medical Center. Your mother, Catherine Bennett, was brought in following a serious car accident about 40 minutes ago." I felt my legs go weak. "Is she alive?" "She's alive," the nurse said, her tone careful. "But she's unconscious. Doctors believe she is in a coma." The word hit me like a physical. "Me," I said, stunned. "You didn't need to," she said smoothly. "You can contest it if you want." My eyes narrowed. "Why are you doing this, Madison?" She leaned forward. "Someone has to protect the house, Olivia, the accounts, the assets." My chest tightened. The childhood home, the blue two-story house on Maplewood Avenue, where we scraped our knees, celebrated birthdays, and spent every Christmas. She was thinking about selling it before Mom even woke up. By the end of the week, Madison had been granted temporary conservatorship. She moved fast, filing paperwork, securing meetings with lawyers, and making arrangements. I reminded myself it was just temporary, that she would not cross any lines. I was wrong. 2 weeks later, while Mom remained unconscious, I learned Madison had sold our childhood home, and I found out after it was done. I couldn't believe it. I felt sick, nauseous, betrayed in a way I had never imagined. I confronted her in the hospital hallway, whispered, "How could you?" "She is incapacitated," Madison replied evenly. "I am responsible now. The house needed to be managed." "She's our mother," I shouted, gripping her arm. "You had no right." She shrugged. "You were too slow to act." It was clear Madison had used the coma to manipulate the situation. She had taken what she wanted under the guise of responsibility. I spent the next days meticulously tracking what she was doing. Phone calls to real estate agents, meetings with notaries, secretive conversations about listing prices and buyers. I recorded everything mentally, every smirk, every calculated word. Mom remained unconscious, a silent, fragile presence in the ICU, oblivious to the war waging over her life, her home, her trust. Then the first weekend, Madison invited me to discuss the sale details. I went reluctantly, wearing a mask of calm. She had staged it like a business meeting, complete with coffee, spreadsheets, and a contract that outlined closing dates, buyer info, and transfer of ownership. "This is all above board," she said, eyes gleaming. "Legally, perfectly fine." I glanced at the papers and felt bile rise. Legal or not, it was morally bankrupt. She had turned our family's history, our mother's memories, into a transaction. I spent the night at Mom's bedside that evening, thinking about what had happened. I held her hand, whispered about childhood stories, our dad, the first time she baked cookies with me and Madison. Every memory felt stolen, every moment taken from me. Madison, meanwhile, operated with precision. She had her lawyer on speed dial, orchestrating each step of the sale like a chess master. Every time I tried to intervene, she reminded me, coldly, "You can contest it, but why fight what is already legally done?" I was trapped between love for my mother and fury at my sister. Days turned into weeks. Madison attempted to sell Mom's car, change accounts, and consolidate finances. She even attempted to restrict visitors, but I fought back quietly, documenting, recording, gathering evidence that could protect Mom's rights if she ever woke up. And then the call came from the buyer's agent. The closing was scheduled for the following week. Madison expected it to be final and unstoppable. But I had begun to plan. I reached out to a family attorney of my own, quietly, discreetly. She listened, shocked at the audacity of Madison's actions. "We can stop this," the attorney said, "but we need proof, documentation, witnesses, everything." I spent every free hour compiling a dossier, emails, notarized papers, phone records, everything that showed Madison's unilateral actions. It became a secret battle, waged silently in the shadows, while Mom lay unconscious, oblivious to the unaware. Finally, the day before closing, I confronted Madison. I walked into her office with a folder of evidence. "You've gone too far," I said, voice steady but cold. "This ends now." She looked at me, expression unflinching. "Olivia, you can try, but legally, I am in charge." "Not if we have proof of fraud, manipulation, and undue influence," I said, dropping the folder on the desk. "Mom is the rightful owner. You do not have the right to sell her home without her consent." Her face paled for the first time. I could see the cracks in her composed facade. We spent hours in that room. Attorneys called, negotiations heated, Madison realizing that her control was slipping. Every misstep she had made while Mom was incapacitated was documented, ready to be used. By the time Mom woke up from her coma, it was over. The house was safe, her accounts untouched, and Madison forced to step down from conservatorship. Mom looked at me, frail but conscious, and whispered, "Thank you." I held her hand tightly. Always, Mom. Always. Madison would never admit it, but she had lost far more than a house. Our trust, our bond, our family respect, all gone. And in the end, it was love, vigilance, and moral courage that preserved our mother's legacy. Sitting by her bedside that evening, I finally let myself breathe. The fight was over, our family was bruised but intact, and I had learned the hardest lesson. Sometimes protecting family means standing alone, watching, and never letting betrayal succeed, even when it comes from your own blood.